If you have this electronic system, you can use that, but you can show the quizzes anyway. Even if you don't have the electronic system, you could just show the quiz, ask for a show of hands. How many people think this is the answer? And to show the quizzes, all you have to do is when you get to the first slide and or the last slide, is click on. There's a button that shows up on the right corner. It's not on this slide, but go to the last slide. I have to go through the slide. Yeah, this button right here on the right. So just click on the button. You could ask for a show of hands, or if you have this electronic system, which I don't know how many people have that, but we built that in so it can be used electronically as well.
Is there a recommended system?
It's called the Fleetwood ARS system, Audience Response System, Fleetwood. WW Reply. So if you didn't hear that, it's about $3,000 for 25 keypads plus a base station for doing it. Okay, we had another question.
Yeah, I'm looking at this as a safety professional and looking at a lot of the things you have on here. You've incorporated MUTCD, Federal Highway, and OSHA into a lot of these.
Right. Also, the state DOT rules are incorporated, as well as NIOSH recommendations, and we're going to be putting in the ANSI standard as well.
Okay, and it's a really good program. I'm looking at this. Some of these things can be enforced by OSHA, and we talked earlier about Subpart K and some other things. When it comes down to, and I believe OSHA enforces the 2000 version of MUTCD?
Basically.
Okay.
Millennium Edition.
And now we have a new version out.
Right.
And they're going to cite on general duty clause for the peril, for the current version. How much of this is going to be enforceable by OSHA, since they're going to be going out on these new jobs?
Right. Well, this program wasn't really designed as an enforcement program. It was designed primarily as a best practice. We want to show people what they should be doing, and we incorporated the standards here because we're also using it to train compliance officers and state DOT folks, but we want them to know, and I guess we should make the distinction as to the OSHA stuff is what's enforceable, but then again, the stuff that the state DOTs require is also enforceable, and the MUTCD is enforceable by the state DOTs. So, but some of these things that we've incorporated here are not required, like the internal traffic control plans are not required, but we feel it's a best practice, and we ought to tell people this is what you should be doing, and not necessarily we're not only going to tell them what they have to do, because that's a minimum.
And one last question, can a company, a contractor, put this on their mainframe and allow people to access it?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Anybody can, install this on your computer and make it available on, a shared drive or something. Sure. Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, okay, thanks.
Back to the regulatory or what's enforceable. Does anybody know, with regard to lighting, are there OSHA regulations or some quantifiable DOT specifications that anyone knows of to enforce out there with regard to lighting of equipment? And
there are some minimum lighting standards that OSHA requires in terms of how many lumens are required for work areas, etc. They haven't been changed or specified specifically for night work or for road construction jobs. There is a new ANSI standard that we're going to be adding into the program that does talk about lighting specifically in night work. And I don't know exactly if there's anything in the MUTCD on lighting. I don't think there is. No. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Don Wentz, Oregon DOT. What we use is 5-foot candles for flagger station lighting, and we took the lead in the nation, and we've converted all of our flagger station lightings to low glare lighting, and we predominantly use balloon lighting. And the contractors have picked up on that and placed a lot of balloon lighting on their equipment.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, David, you have a comment? Okay.
Just to add to the question on lighting, not so much in terms of what's required, but there's some really good guidance out there through a National Cooperative Highway Research project that was done, and so there's a good Transportation Research Board publication on highway work zones and night lighting, so you might want to check that out.
Okay, any other comments, questions, complaints? I know everybody's getting ready for lunch. We don't have a lot of time for lunch, so I'm going to turn it over back to Brad for announcements and next steps. Thanks.
Well, thank you all for sticking with us this morning, and we've just kind of got a touch of what's going on. We're having a 45-minute lunch break, and following lunch we have 3 terrific sessions that you're not going to want to miss. Our first session after lunch is going to be Dave Fosbrook and Jennifer Lincoln from NIOSH, who have spent the last 10 years doing research in roadway construction. They're going to talk about some of the things that they found about how to avoid worker runovers, backovers, how to safely have equipment access and egress the work zone. You'll see outside some posters that were developed based on this NIOSH research. Take as many as you want, and if you need more, we'll get you more. So that's after lunch. Then the next, following that, Jerry Ullman from TTI is going to be talking about some of the latest research and information, best practices on speed management in work zones. And then our wrap-up session this evening, this afternoon, will be on falls and preventing falls in roadway construction. So we've got some great sessions this afternoon. We'll see you back in about 45 minutes. Thank you.